Are you tired of playing small? That's a little bit of a loaded question because the reality is sometimes even when we have that nagging feeling that something's missing, something's not quite right, we don't feel aligned, we don't feel like life is as fulfilling as we want it to be, we don't really want to admit that we might be playing small, that it might be our responsibility or on us in some way, right? And yet we know that when we're playing bigger, when we're showing up more fully, when we're living into the fullness of who we are and aligned with our values and our passions and our sense of purpose and our gifts, there's something so enriching and so fulfilling about that. We feel like we're playing big, like we're showing up in this expanded version of ourselves. So how do we know? How do we know if we're not playing big or rising to our potential? And what do we do about it if we notice that we're not? And why do we struggle between the two? Well, the first thing is that if we're playing small, probably we're feeling that nagging like voice in our heads that's saying, come on, something's not right. You've got to quit this job. This relationship isn't working. This opportunity is passing you by, or something just doesn't quite feel right. And we know it. We feel it. We feel misaligned. We feel, even if we're successful and we have everything it seems like we should ever want, but something feels like it's missing, there's probably a calling or something that we're not answering, right? And that means we are being asked to play bigger. There's something more. Now, in order to go to that place of showing up in a more expanded state of our being, the first piece is to admit that, to say, this isn't what I want. This isn't all I thought it would be. I thought I'd be happier, but I'm not. And being willing to admit that to ourselves is really huge. And it's hard because the minute we start asking ourselves, is this really what I want? What else might I want? Do I know what I want? Could it be that there's something else in my life that is calling to me? The minute we start asking those questions is the minute we also have to acknowledge more fully that where we are right now isn't working for us. Now, one of the best ways to move forward through that is to honor and acknowledge and say to ourselves, okay, this might not be working, but it's another step closer to my greater potential, to the truth of who I am, to where I want to be, to what I'm capable of and who I'm capable of being, right? It's one more step on the path in the right direction. And yeah, maybe I have to face some things that might fall apart, that I might have to let go of, that I might have to shift, but I also get to open up to the possibilities of this expanded sense of my being, this sense of myself that can play bigger, that can show up more strongly. So the biggest piece to consider in asking yourself the question, can I play bigger? And in that feeling of being tired of playing small, feeling stuck, knowing that something is missing, we have to align with our truth. So we have to connect to that sense of self-awareness, understanding of who we are, the strengths, the gifts, the values, what we really want, the things that we want to share, and the way that we want to bring them to the world. We have to align with that first. And then we have to start setting intentions, one step at a time. Start where you are. You don't have to just suddenly, quit the job, leave the relationship, change everything in your life because something doesn't feel quite right. But acknowledging it is the first step to playing bigger. And so when we acknowledge and then also know where we are, then we can set intentions to take one step at a time, closer and closer and closer toward our dreams, toward our goal, toward that sense of expanded self that knows that it's stepping into its potential. And it may not feel comfortable. We may feel really awkward in the process, but there's a knowing that we can do this, that we can step forward, and we'll feel it in the way we feel like we're expanding. It won't be the same kind of contractive fear or contractive, uncertainty. It will feel like we're stepping into something bigger. So I invite you to ask the question, first of all, are you playing where you want to be playing in this lifetime? Are you being the leading character in the story of your life? And then challenge yourself to align with the best of who you are, all that you know that you're capable of, and then move toward the intention setting one step at a time toward where you want to go in your greater, more expanded life.